How long you been running this?
So we live right now, but I've been going since June of 2017, man.
Okay.
June of 2017, man.
COVID.
Yeah, say that. Yep. Through it all, man. So, all right, let me kick it back from the top because we are live right now. Let me just make sure Facebook is live. All right, boom, we ready to go, man. Let me hit it from the top, man. There we go. All right, here we go. Salute to Knicks Nation on this Friday evening. Another edition of KFTV Live presented by Manscaped. CP the franchise in the building. On the other side, we got my guy, man. He was a co-founder of one of the biggest groups in music history, in Murder Inc. He is the CEO of Adventures Music and most importantly, the commissioner of the Clash Pro League, as well as Clash TV, man. We got Chris, Gotti, Lorenzo in the building. We're going to talk Knicks. We're going to talk Clash TV, man. So make sure you guys hit the like button, hit the share button, and subscribe to the channel. Knicks will also be taking on the Orlando Magic later on at 7 o'clock. So consider this a little pregame warm-up, if you will, man. So salute to everybody in the chat. Hope everybody's enjoying the holiday week. And let's get into it, man.
CP, thanks for having me.
Yeah, man. Chris, well, first of all, shout out to our guy, Flash, a.k.a. Shots by Flash, for putting this together. Definitely appreciate Flash. I know he does a lot of work with you guys. So, yeah, man. One of my students. Absolutely, man. So, yeah, welcome to KnicksFanTV, man. How you feeling today?
Man, I'm blessed, man. Holidays treat me good. Family's good. I can't complain. CPL is in a great place. So, the Clash Pro League, we're ready to take off next year. We got 1 year under our belt. And the championship game was incredible, and here we are. I'm blessed. Yeah,
that's what's up, man. I definitely want to support you guys and congratulate you on a tremendous accomplishment. Just Clash Pro League, the first paid pro league coming out of New York, man.
Yeah, I am the commissioner. I'm the founder. I'm an investor. Like everything, I got skin in the game. And I put it up. I'm 42 years in streetball. Goes back to Greg Mary. Shout out Greg.
God rest in peace, Greg. Yep.
Yeah. With Rucker Park to Ken Stevens over at Dykeman today. Currently, Kenny's with me as well with the Clash Pro League. Integral part of helping me get everything done. And I mean, it's just work, but it's something that I've thought about for years. And with the addition of a Clash TV, I have a network. So now I got a platform. People could actually watch these games. And that's what made me say, we could do it. And we did.
Absolutely.
So now we have a pro paid league for the first time ever in New York City. That's crazy.
And so when you consider the talent levels, where are these players hailing from? How did you go about selecting the players for the league?
Well, man, that's a great question. But, the reality is, if I'm 42 years in street ball, just think of all the NBA players I brought through the parks from the likes of, like, the highest, of course, is Kobe Bryant. So if a Kobe Bryant walked in that park and plays against these other guys that they played D1, they might have played overseas. So this is the pool of talent that you have. I have two national scorers, leading scorers in college that play in the league. I got a guy that won a gold medal that plays in the league. I got guys that's from overseas. Like it's a real pro league, and it's only going to get stronger because it was my first year, and a lot of people didn't know what to expect. Will the money even be there? How do they get paid? Is it going to be real? No, everyone got paid every week with no hesitation, no problem. I raised capital. I got great investors and partners, and we're raising more. We're going to keep expanding into new markets. So, I mean, sky's the limit for CPL.
And congratulations to the City Ballers. The City Ballers took the first ever
City
Slammers took the first ever CPL championship. That was led by Coach Jermaine Jones, aka Coach Twin, the brother of Joel Santana. I like how his overall brand. I felt like that was a great inaugural champion for your league and a great ambassador for your league.
Yeah, absolutely. The craziest part, if I was to write it down prior to the season even starting, the two teams that played, you can't talk about the championship, even though Twin won, without Ra. You know, Ra, he coaches in streetball. He coaches the Sean Bell teams. He's
Sean Bell
probably the
All-Stars.
most winning. Yes, he's probably the most winningest coach in streetball history, as far as the amount of money he's made. It's like, what can you say? And then you have Twin, who has incredible accolades, a great personality. You know, he's from the music industry. Him and his brother, shout out Jewels, he was there at the game. And again, I couldn't have scripted it better. The game, the way it played out during the season, Skywalkers, that's Rod's team, that's the name of his team. They was probably the lowest scoring team that we had in the league, but they have the most veterans, the most guys that played overseas. I mean, really savvy, smart, incredible, talented players. But they don't play at the tempo of these younger guys, like a Twin. You know, Twin had a Zion Styles, who was the MVP of the league, and Zion was incredible this year. You know, I can't imagine him not getting bigger offers as good and as talented as he is. You know, and to put it in perspective, we do a four quarters with a 10-minute running clock. We only stop on fouls if you're shooting, and we stop if it's down to 1 minute, first and third quarter, or 2 minutes for the second and fourth quarter. So that is a very fast game. To average 25 points per game in a 10-minute running clock with a physicality that we have from a streetball type of environment, where they're not calling those light tic-tac fouls like the NBA you see today. It's an incredible accomplishment to be able to score 25 points a game versus the talent that's out there playing the physicality, the lack of the call, which is what we want. I want that by design. I want a very physical game. Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah, go ahead. Finish your thought.
No, so shout out Zion Styles, man. Incredible doozy. You did your thing, boy.
And you actually got our guy Antoine Mason is part of the league as well, man. Son of the late great Anthony Mason, friend of the program.
Yes, we just did a big interview on Fox Sports with me and Mace. We went there, and I mean, incredible. You know, just to be interviewed and talk about everything, and we brought it right from Anthony Mason, who I knew, man, Mace and his Antoine's mother and Anthony's wife, and the mother of his child. Like, I grew up with her. She was literally down the block, so I knew Mace. He would be there all the time. I used to look out for Mace. So me and Mace was real close. You know, it's just kind of full circle that his son is now in my league and being paid and one of the top players in the league. He's really good.
That's what's up, man. I went to a couple years ago when Jalen Brunson first came to the Knicks, and the Knicks had a team. It was him, Randall, and Obi. They played at Hostos at Community College, and they were going up against a team led by Jordan Washington. And they lost that game, man. Jordan Washington team came and balled out. He's another guy, a part of the Clash Pro League, man. Brings that toughness.
You know Jay Wash.
Yeah,
you know,
Jay Wash, man.
That's my guy, and he's in the league. You know, so you asked a question that I didn't answer yet, and that's what is kind of what happened to Jay Wash. So when we started, I picked 8 coaches, only 8 teams, 8 coaches, and then we did a combine and a draft. And the reason I did that is because I didn't want these coaches that come from streetball to just walk in with their team. You know, like a Mel. Yeah. You know, Mel's with TMT, you know, 20s, I Can't Feel My Face. Or, you know, I didn't want them to just walk, or Sean Bell, you know, I didn't want them to just walk in with that team. I wanted to be even, meaning let's do a draft. Let's really put the pressure on the coaches to coach plays they never coach, and not really, you know, build out the league like that and make it very competitive. And it worked out exactly that. Any given Sunday, because we play on Sundays, any given Sunday, anyone could have won. That's how talented all the teams was. So it really did come down to a lot of the better coaching won games. Games was very competitive throughout the whole season. You know, I mean, I couldn't have asked for a better season, man. I promise you, CP. If you didn't catch it, you could go watch them right on Clash on the app. You can watch it. Download the app or go to YouTube and watch it. The YouTube is Clash Streetball, and the app is Clash TV app. And you get the app, and you can watch all the games. You can see all of the analytics. So we have all of the box scores. Like, I went that distance. This isn't just street ball, you know. I went the distance, but I did take street ball vibe and bring it inside.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Once again, CP the Franchise, chopping it up with Chris, Gotti, Lorenzo. Salute to everybody in the chat. Once again, hit the like button, hit the share button, subscribe to the channel. I'm going to shout out some of these chats that are coming in on the YouTube shot. Keno says, R.I.P. my bro Kev Shaw. Gotti always showed us love. NYC-ish. Shout out to Keno. Chase Nichols in the chat says, Chris Gotti, what's up? It's the ink for life. Okay, salute to everybody in the chat, man. Salute to everybody in the chat. Chevrolet TV says, where can we watch Clash Pro League? As you say, you have YouTube, and then you have the Clash app.
If you get the app, it's a better feel. You get more information. So if you get the app, the Clash TV app, you can watch all the games. They're archived right on the app. You click it, boom, you can watch it. I mean, the feed is incredible. Put it right up to your big screens. You know, mirror that TV and watch it on the big screen. You're going to see a great game.
And speaking of that, you know, me being in media and just in this era of content that we're in, especially ownership and owning your content, owning the rights to your content, you know, what was your overall just vision and thought process with the app to go alongside the games and really just be able to put your own content out there?
You know, when I said I was always thinking, when I have 42 years in street ball, probably back in the 2000s, early 2000s, when I was bringing all these NBA players, I was like, we need to have a network to bring it out and show these games to the world, because only so many people come to the park. People hear about it, want to come to the park, but maybe afraid, maybe intimidated. It doesn't really cross over, you know, into other genres of people. So you're stuck with your, let's say, the people, for the most part, the people from the boroughs that come out for these games. And I was like, man, this is one of the most coveted things to watch from a basketball standpoint. You have the NBA number one. And this is my opinion. You have NBA number one. If I take away college basketball because they're not professional, I got this as number two. There's other leagues, but they're watered down, in my opinion, compared to what the NBA is or versus what they are. You know, the NBA has all of the top talent. How are you going to have a better product than they have if you did the same exact game? So I cannot mirror an NBA game. I have to change rules. That's why I make it a certain way. And then now I have a very competitive game that's super exciting and you're going to enjoy and people will come out to see. And that's what CPL is all about. I took to go off of basketball to boxing. You know, I also manage fighters, and there's two fighters that I'm an older guy, I'm 57, but Mickey Ward and Toro Gotti.
Classics.
These two guys had classic legends. The legend is when they fought each other.
Right.
See, they weren't the best fighters in their era, but when they fought each other, it was must-see boxing.
Yeah. And
those two guys, it was so evenly matched. It was so competitive. And that was my mindset in building the CPL. Evenly matched will bring out the competitive nature, because and then there'll be someone that always raises up, like a Deucey, a Zion. You know, he raised up and said, I'm a little bit better than these guys. You're going to have to do something about me. And there's other players, Day Riches. You know, there's other players, Jordan Washington. You can't just play them by these. So you got to send help. They're going to score. And that to me was the beauty of the league. Terry Roberts, another great story that came out of Terry Roberts is going to be with the Nets now. He was shot while he was in Philly. He was on the G League. He comes out of a store and gets shot with a random bullet in Philly. Damn. And couldn't play. Rehab, came back, used the CPL as the ground to get his game back on track. And when I tell you, he was the best guard every week he played. And he's a true professional. The way he scored. You know, when that word professional is a difference. Street baller, no. You know, when I say professional, what I mean by that is everything's in rhythm. If you look at a pro, everything's in rhythm.
Mm-hmm.
Jalen Brunson now, he's a very irky-jerky, so you don't think it's in rhythm, but that is his rhythm.
Yeah, yeah.
You understand what
Yeah.
I'm saying? It doesn't look like he knows. He knows exactly what he's doing. That's what he practiced his whole life. That's his style. But so, and I explain that because people said that to me. I'm like, no, what are you kidding me? Jalen Brunson is a monster. He knows exactly what he's doing. He gets to his spots, and it's in rhythm. You can't score the way he does if you're not a pro.
Yeah.
Right? You'll be too erratic. You'll be good one day and terrible another day. No. He's a full pro. And, you know, shout out the Brunsons. You know, Jalen and his father, Rick. That's my guy, man.
True indeed.
True
indeed, man. You know, when I look at some of the other leagues that have, you know, sprung up recently, you know, over time, obviously catering to the younger high school generation. Shout out to Zach, man. Absolutely. And, you know, as you said about boxing, they're getting into boxing, they're getting into everything. You have the Creator League. You had the Drewski's League, which was called what was Drewski's League called? It was Crew League. I think something of that nature. But my point is that, you know, those brands behind the sport is the storytelling which they push out through the media. And that's what I see through Clash Pro League. Like the brother that you just mentioned who came out of Philly, got shot by the random bullet. Like those type of stories, you have the opportunity to tell those unique stories from these players who come from backgrounds of all sorts and tell that through the media, through the app and things of that nature.
No, absolutely. So when I started the league, the next thing I thought about was the NBA, which is the absolute pinnacle of what we want to become if we're a league. We want to be in that kind of idea. And I look at the league. The NBA early days wasn't making money. It's a losing business. They started making money. Dr. J comes from the ABA, gets in there. Dr. J starts doing his thing. People start coming in. You get Larry Bird, Magic Johnson, and it started getting popularity. But what really made it make money, it wasn't basketball. It was Converse. The commercials, the marketing of the player. So I create commercials for my players. And then what made the NBA reach its pinnacle, of course, is the GOAT. Michael
MJ.
Jordan.
Yeah.
MJ. He's right behind you. I see it. He's about to dunk
on him. Yeah, of course.
Yeah. But that was what took his commercials. He was an incredible player. He elevated from a play over the Dr. J's, the Larry Birds, Magic, elevated it, dominated it, and created a must-see watch game from a player. But in my opinion, why there's no doubt so many people talk GOAT for Michael and not LeBron, more so than anything, it's the commercials that we will never forget.
True.
Yeah, got to be the shoes.
Yeah.
You know, Mars Blackman, right? And look what he did. He tapped into culture. That Mars Blackman was a black movie. She's got to have it. You know what I'm saying? This is hip hop.
Yeah.
Whenever you hear me say culture, it's hip hop. We took the culture to where it's at. And we made She's Gotta Have It work. We made Michael Jordan go crazy, right?
Sure.
That culture. And inside of our culture, don't get it mixed up. You know, our music. Inside of our culture, we accepted everybody. So it doesn't matter what race you were, you could come in and we'll accept you. See, when people talk that stuff, I'm a protector of hip hop. And you can't be mad if someone's doing drill music and they're talking about kill, kill, kill. And here's the reality. The companies took away the avenue to make the Public Enemy type music. That was hugely successful. See, that's when I feel like there is an agenda that's untalked about, right? Behind the scenes. Because Public Enemy, when they seen that come through, that was a full movement when they came in. Why wouldn't that be reduplicated and repeated?
Right.
Instead of pushed away, right? Into this. Even Murder Inc., we had a sound. Ja Rule, you could say we was gangsters all you want, gangster music. Listen to all the hits. Women records, chick-friendly records. That was the formula. You know, chicks like And chicks like bad guys. That's the bottom line. So that was the yin and yang of what we did. But again, it was all part of culture. You don't see it no more. Why? Yeah. It was hugely successful. You cannot tell me people don't enjoy that. But it's like they push those kind of music away. It's like there's an agenda, and it's sad. The powers that be. I could go in deeper than that, but I won't.
True indeed. Well, funnily enough, that was going to be one of the questions I have for you, and you definitely hit the nail on the head. And speaking of Public Enemy, the Rhyme Animal Chuck D is in the chat right now as we speak.
Tell Chuck, I said, man, one of my favorites, man. All blessings
yes, sir.
To the God. Chuck,
he said salute. He said salute Chris G. He says Spike plus Nike equals MJ God. Brooklyn Mars Blackman.
Yes.
Yep. Absolutely.
Chuck, I need you, Chuck. I promise you. Please contact me. Yeah, I need you.
Yeah, no question, man. Chuck he's in the chat with us every single night, never misses a show, and that's our guy, man. A champion of our culture, as you said.
Absolutely, and they don't talk about it. They don't talk. It pisses me off. Like, there's certain music inside of this hip hop culture that just made you go crazy. He's one of them. And I'm not an old head where I don't enjoy these young artists because it's all creative to me. Again, I know he's in trouble, but Little Durk was one of my favorites. Today, like Little Baby, these are my favorites right now. Like, I love their music, Sleepy and Chef G. Again, it's different types of music, and I'm not here to judge on is it hurtful or not. It's entertainment. If we stay in that, as soon as you put it into another place, we're in a bad place. It's entertainment and talent. Everyone cannot make records like these guys. It's that simple. It's that pure. Of course, I love J. Cole. You know what I'm saying? Drake, Kendrick Lamar. These are all favorites. But, these are talented, super talented guys.
When you think about, as an entrepreneur, each stop along the way, you take something with you to apply it to the next thing. So your success, your highs and your lows, the lessons that you learn, you apply it to the next thing. So when you think about the success of A Murder Inc. through marketing, through branding, this attention economy that we in right now, what did you take from there and to apply to the league?
Look, I didn't go to school. CP, I didn't go to school. Here's what I learned the hard way. Watching. Dealing with people that was really out to steal your money you didn't realize and take your business from you. And that's a hell of a learning lesson. And I did that. I took care of my brother. He's the talent as far as making music and creating things. I helped him. I'm a different talent. I brought in all the producers. I helped him with all the artists, like finding them. So I heard them and brought them because I knew when they get with my brother, what's going to really happen when he gets on it, And at the end of the day, when you ask me, what did I take? I started my business in construction. Construction taught me how to build teams and work. All union jobs. This wasn't construction like house. I did homes and everything, but all union stuff. So if you understand what that means if you're a carpenter, if you picked up the saw, you didn't touch the hammer. You didn't touch nothing else. You only did carpenter work. If you was a laborer, you only could do labor. My team of all these union guys that never did that in their career, they all did everything for me. They would stay late, wouldn't worry about the overtime. And then I take care of them, And they knew that, and they just felt that. So that team building, absolutely more than anything, I learned from construction. And again, music, oh my God, marketing. Music was the most education. And I look at every business exactly the same. I don't care what business it is. So there's a guy that's a partner. He's an investor, Arnold Jung. He's Korean. And he comes to me for CPL. And he says, Chris, what did you do for Murder Inc.? I answered him and said, I'm doing exactly that. Let's let it breathe and go. Things don't happen overnight. Technically, we're 9 weeks is all we are for the CPL. We have incredible results, incredible turnout. Everyone came out. All of the, the views, everything is there. Sponsors want to come in. We had no sponsors. We sponsored it, right? Because I said, if you believe in something, you got to put it in front of people. just like an artist. I had to put them in front of people and say, we believe in this and stand behind it. You know, imagine, I'm going to use Chuck again. Imagine in that area when he comes out, he's totally left with his sound, his words. Totally left. He had to stand on that, present it, and then they push it, they market it, and then they see little wins that grows into big wins, because that's how it starts. And it's the same thing. Just remember, Leo Cohen and all of Def Jam laughed at us when we made 336. That's the album that to me is my favorite album, because we had so many hits on that record, but Ja changed his rap style. He had to go completely left, right? And there was a lot of reasons why he did it. He found his style and sound. Changed the game forever. I could sit here and say every artist borrowed from Ja Rule today.
Certainly right.
You know what I'm saying? And it's like they just don't, they want to hate. Even 50, he borrowed from Ja. He was there singing, doing those same melodic type flows on all the songs. Like, but no one wants to admit this. It's like weird. Yeah. But you know, the money's here, so it don't matter.
True indeed, man. So, I mean, you talking about team building, you talking about conviction, consistency, building systems, belief.
Yeah, and keep away from negativity. People that say it's no good. You got to believe in what you're doing. If you don't believe in your product, then why do you think someone else is going to believe? And you got to have a team that believes in it, because they're going to be working for you to do it, to get it. So when you're not there, you want to make sure they have that same passion and energy. A lot of artists, I tell them, I don't care if you get a manager that knows what he's doing. It's more about getting a person that loves your music and loves you to go out there and chase it, because that's how hard it is. You get a manager that's only in it for money, you're not making money. So he walks in a few doors. If no one takes it, he's like, man, I got to do something else. He's not even telling you that. I've seen it over and over from the managers themselves, and it's like, damn, the artists don't even know they're getting fucked over. You know, it's like, it's crazy. And that's so real. You got to believe in the product. And I tell everyone with CPL, the door is right there. I let everybody know. You could talk to Flash. If you don't believe or see this vision, it's cool. It's no problem. I don't expect everyone to. But if you do, you good. But if you don't, the door is right there. You could leave. I don't want you around me. I don't want no negative, nothing. Right? I want all the, look, the challenges we all know. Nothing's easy. But who's going to be willing to go through that fight that you have to go through to win? You know, people say, oh, you know, with artists, some of them go viral. I say, yeah, but I don't know how to make someone just go viral. Right? That's God's work. Yeah. He reached down and touched someone. They put one record out, never did no work, and next thing, boom. I don't know how to do that. There's no formula to reduplicate that. Believe me, if it was, the record labels would be stealing it and doing it.
True indeed, man. Once again, TP the franchise, chopping it up with Chris Gotti, Lorenzo, the co-founder of Murder Inc. and the commissioner of the Clash Pro League.
Yes.
Now, when you talk about partners, sponsors, you need revenue to grow a league. You need revenue to grow a business. You know, I'm in that boat now where, you know, we're doing the same thing.
You're doing the same thing,
right? But there comes a point where getting paid for your worth, getting paid for the value that you're putting out there. You talk about some of, you know, the challenges that you have in terms of presenting that in the league to partners and getting your true value, man.
Yes. Look, you're building this right here. You're doing exactly the same thing. That's why, because of my lack of, let's say, education, in the sense of schooling, my knowledge is, oh my God, it's crazy. I feel incredible right now. But because of that, when I watch other smart, educated brothers, sisters that come into business, it's like they don't have some of that flexibility they need to actually do some of the work that they need to get done. And that to me is something that I look at as part of my advantage, and just finding the right avenues to go down. But we're all in the same exact fight, artists. I mean, it's all the same. You're building this business just like I got to do it. You're treating this platform, this podcast, that's your artist. That's what I told every. This is CPL is my artist. Now I got to make him Jay-Z. You understand?
Yeah.
I got to make him Jay-Z. I got to make it Drake. That from CPL got to turn into my Drake.
Right.
Right. If you're going today, right now, with Kendrick Lamar, like, hey, this is what I got to do. This is everyone's challenges for any business. That's how I look at it. And then what do you got to do to make that happen? You know, that depends on the business you're in. But it's all the same movements you got to do.
When you think about some of the glory days of street ball, I mean, my era when I came up, I remember the EBC days and all the stars that used to come in and you know, the True Warrior, the Ron Artest and Marbury coming through, Zach Marbury, you had Hannibal on the mic with the boy and oh man, those days were incredible. You know, talk about bringing up the Black Mamba to Rucker Park, man. That was a classic NY moment, man.
Let me tell you something. I keep talking because I have his sneakers from that day. He signed them. I asked them to sign them, and they gave them to me after the game was over. But the more crazier part, right? See, these are the stories that got to get told. The crazy part to that day, he comes in the park. He doesn't have sneakers. I'm like, yo, what are you doing? I'm like, come on, let's get Jay. He's like, yo, I ain't got no sneakers. He got soft bottoms on, not hard bottoms, soft bottoms. I'm some loafers, but shoes. And I'm like, come on. So I call my intern at the time over, and I give her the money, and I say, go get him sneakers. He has a size 14, if I'm not mistaken. He just signed his Adidas contract. So I said, get some fucking Adidas. Our color is orange in the uniform. Just get some white something. She runs, she comes back. She got shoes. The only shoe she has is Nikes. The store only had 14s in Nike. And it was the Air Force One high top with the orange swoop. And I said, yo, give me that. I go to Cove. I said, yo, this is all they got. Is it okay? He said, man, I don't give a fuck. Give me that shit. Yo, Cove is a monster. People don't know. People don't, I swear to God, it's one of my regrets that I never took pictures with him. As many times as I was with him, hung out with him in LA, and I was with him for one of the most iconic Knicks games. I'm sitting right next to James Dolan. I got video of me in the back when he comes run up and hugs me because he did 61 in the Garden.
Yep.
I was there. I'm sitting on the floor, and the crazy part about that day, I'm screaming at him every time. Like, yo, Cole, he won't look at me. He won't come over me. Yo, as soon as the game is over, he runs right over to me like, yeah, I did it. Going crazy. But that's his focus.
Can't shake him.
You know, LA, I got incredible stories with Kobe. Like, another incredible story is me and my brother were gamblers. We was gambling big. Where he's playing the Pacers. If there's a game, him and Reggie Miller fight.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, guess what? It's because of me and my brother.
How that happened?
So we're yelling at Kobe. We're half court, center court, you know, on the floor. We're yelling at we need more. They're up by, I believe it was 12 points. The spread is 13. Kobe looks at us, gets the ball, dribbles over the clock is running out, and still shoots. And that's what made Reggie Miller go at him.
Oh, wow.
No, we jumped on the court. The security's like, Chris Irv, don't go. But he tried, hit back of the rim and out. We lost that game. You know?
That's crazy, man.
Incredible moments. And when you talk about the iconic people, another one I cannot not talk about is a Knick, ex-Knick himself, Baron Too Easy Davis. That was his nickname, Too Easy. When he came and played for Murder Inc. up in Rucker Park, you couldn't stop him. You couldn't do nothing with him. You know, and another iconic street baller that doesn't get enough credit is a guy named Lonnie Harrell, the prime objective. Oh, my God, from out of Baltimore.
Yeah.
So he played with me when Kobe played.
Okay. Kobe
asked me in the middle of the game, this was one of my trivia questions. I always make jokes. I was like, yeah, it was Phil Jackson and me who coached Kobe. That's it. But, you know, he comes to me in the middle of the game like, yo, who is this? Talking about Lonnie Harrell. He's like 6'7", 6'8", handle, dunks, shoots it. I mean, the whole package. He played and worked out with Kobe so well. Kobe asked me to get him to L.A. for a try.
Wow.
I do it. I told Lonnie, you going to L.A., I buy his ticket, get him to L.A., and then he had a heart murmur. And they wouldn't sign him. Kobe told me he killed it.
Wow.
Like, wow. I was like, yo, how boy do? Yo, he killed it. Yo, he killed it. When the doctors finished, they found out he got a heart murmur and they won't sign him. This is crazy. This is a true story. Lonnie Harrell, go look, ask. He put it up on his page before, but he'll tell you. But I did that for him. And that's with Kobe, because me and Kobe were so cool. Like, Kobe was one of one, man.
Yeah.
And I never took a picture. I took hundreds of pictures for other people with him.
Yeah.
While I'm together, you know, people, could you take a picture? Yeah, give me a camera. And never took a picture with me and him.
Damn.
It's crazy. I only got the game highlight footage of that game where you'll see me there, but you're like not a picture with me and him.
Yeah. Damn.
It's crazy.
Rest in peace, late great Black Mamba, man. But that was just you staying in the moment, man. Staying in the moment.
Even to tie it in to the CPL, my MVP of the game, I named the trophy the Black Mamba.
That's dope.
The Kobe Bean Bryant Black Mamba Award.
That's dope, man.
For the MVP of the CPL championship game.
Yeah, yeah. And how about when KD came to Dykeman?
Yeah, I brought KD in.
Let's talk about that.
Dykeman and Rucker.
Yeah, let's talk about that, man. What was that experience like?
KD, I was just watching a interview with Steven Jackson, and he was breaking down. Shout out Stack Jack, man.
Yeah.
And he was breaking down a baller, like a basketball player and a hooper. And he's like, he's a hooper. He said, these other guys are not hoopers. Kevin Durant's a hooper. And that's why he came to the park. He was so mad that they was double and triple teaming him. He grabbed the mic and said, what's going on? Like, I thought this is New York. What are y'all doing? I said, Kevin, you're 7 foot tall, man. Stop it. He didn't care. He had 66 that game. He was dropping it from right over half court, just killing everybody, man.
Insane,
it was,
man.
Again, an iconic moment. He did have 47 at Dykeman. Incredible. You can't do nothing.
Yeah.
But you know what I love? I love to give the street baller the opportunity to play with the NBA player, that star. And that's what made the heyday the heyday. Like, think about the names. Vince Carter came out and played. Allen Iverson came out and played. Steve Francis, the franchise came out and played.
Yeah.
Like, Sean Marion. I mean, the list is so long of the NBA players. And if you talk to any one of them today and ask them, what was that day like? What was that day like? They're going to tell you that it was more, like they felt more pressure to perform than when they played in the Garden or whatever. It's crazy. Baron Davis has the best story for me because the day I fly him in, he's playing for Murray the next night. He said, we got to go to the park tonight.
You got to test the ribs. You got to test the court.
In the dark. He's
no
in
lights.
The dark in 155th shooting. Me and him. And you ask him, and we shooting, and I'm like, but that's how nervous he was in the sense of like, I gotta perform.
Yeah.
Yeah, he performs.
Those were the days, man. But like, I don't like. Why do you think they you know, every once in a while you have guys like Lance played up until late. You know, Kemba would come through before he hung it up. But you don't. How come they don't have it no more?
That's why.
Wow.
It's two parts. It's this. And it's how much money. They're making so much money. It's very challenging to get them to come and play in the park. Look, Damian Lillard. I would go crazy to get Steph to come to a park, come to Dykeman, and show the kids a game against their favorite street ballers, just so they can see it. You never know. These street ballers like A. Butter. Again, I named my MVP of the league after him. Adrian A. Butter, a whole lot of game won. Because, when Vince came in, Vince had 62. I think A. Butter had 61 against Vince. Like, come on, this is iconic moments. This is like probably the pinnacle of his career forever because he got to play against Vince Carter.
Wow.
And he showed out. And I named him, I gave it to him as the MVP for the league, like for the whole year. Yeah, the whole lot of game.
But I mean, but essentially, then it's, you know, we opened the show talking about the importance of branding and bringing in revenue, but at the same time, I mean, this is the same challenge that they have with the All-Star game, right? Where it's like these guys have so many stakeholders right now that they can't jeopardize either being embarrassed or getting hurt.
Yeah, but look at a guy like Kevin Durant came out, a guy like Kobe in his prime, 5 championship rings, and comes to Rucker Park. He's probably on a little bit of a decline, right? After 5 championship rings, he wasn't, but still, they was calling him the Lord of the Rings.
Lord of the Rings. Lord of the Rings.
You know what I'm saying? It's like they still come out and play. And that, to me, is what giving back is really about. That's what plays. But we're a guard league in the New York area. Yeah. We don't have 7-footers walking around the street ball.
No.
So even though Jermaine O'Neal came and played, I would tell all these NBA players, I'll play whoever you bring, just 6'9" and down.
Yeah.
But we're guard heavy. And I'll find players, I'll never forget, I brought Brandon Jennings out with DeMar DeRozan, East-West game, and it was all NBA players versus my street ballers. We destroyed them. Now, DeMar DeRozan was getting buckets. Couldn't do nothing with him. But Brandon Jennings had to play against Adris, a Dominican player that we call too hard to guard.
Yeah.
Shout out Adris, man.
Yep.
And he gave it to Brandon Jennings. The game got crazy. The court, you know how they do it.
Everybody on the court. Everybody on the court, man.
This is what I want. I want that vibe. I don't want everyone on my court in the pro league because I don't want that. But I want that energy where you're right on top of people. Like you go to the park, they're right there.
Yeah.
That's the vibe I want because that is something that the NBA and these other leagues will never do.
Just missing that. And, you know, KD was quoted after this Christmas Day game because there's a hot topic now is the state of the league. What's going on with the league, the low ratings, and everybody has their theory, right? Is it the style of the game? Is too many threes? And other people saying, well, you know, people still watching. It's just segmented across social media. You got people watching on the illegal stream, so the interest is still there. Then they say, you know, there's another theory that the star power is lacking, you know, outside of Bron, KD, and Steph, you don't really have those compelling stars. What do you think?
It's yes, all of the above. It's a combination. It's not one thing. It's a combination of everything you just mentioned. When I watch the NBA today, it's almost like an all-star game, and that's not good, right? It's very light. The physicality, it gets good in playoff time. But during the season, it's, you know, you go to a game and it's almost like they're going through motions. You don't have that killer, except for a few players. I will not say that they don't all, but, you know, and here's my biggest problem. See, that you didn't mention the main thing to me. The main problem is if I put all these players in a room and I give half of them 20 million, 50 million, 100 million. Who's coming to work tomorrow? That to me is the real problem. See, when you look at the greats, and Kevin Durant is one of the greats. He's making the most money, right? He's one of the highest paid players. All his endorsements, he'll be a billionaire for sure. But he's still showing up to work. And that is very rare. Because when you get money, especially in our culture, let's say, in our communities, you become a boss. Once you become a boss, you ain't trying to work. You're looking at your coach. Hey, you looking at the coach like you're broke. What could you tell me? That's the vibe. That's part of the culture.
Yeah.
Like, what could you tell me? You don't make what? You making $3 million, $5 million. Man, stop it. That's the vibe. You know, it's happening again, and it's going down. Meaning high school, NILs. I want all these kids and everyone to make money. As much money as possible. I want all people to make as much money as possible. But there's a cause and effect that comes behind making that money. And you're seeing it, and how do you fix it? I had spoke to I seen Penny Hardaway do an interview. He's the coach of Memphis. And he says, I can't keep my kids. He said, because they do 1-year deals and then they go into the highest bidder next year. If they have a good NIL. So the next season, you know, in the girls, they don't want to leave because they make more money in college than they do in NBA.
Yeah, the NBA, yeah.
So the WNBA's got a big problem. It's a real problem. High schoolers are getting NIL deals.
Yeah, you had a guy that the next draft class, he just got an $8 million bag from BYU.
Yes.
NIL deal.
So how do you how does that make him motivated to keep working? That becomes a problem because with money, most people get lazy.
True.
That's all. Not everyone, but the stars keep going. That's why there's only a handful. LeBron, highest paid guy who like makes all this money. He's out there busting his ass. You have to respect that. Again, you can go back to Michael Jordan. Every great was in their era making the most that was made, but working as hard as they could to win and play. So to me, that's the number one problem. And it's sad because how do you fix the amount of money with the NBA making so much money? How could they fix it? They'll never be able to tell these guys they can't get paid that. How could they change that? In 10 years, there'll be a kid that gets a 4-year deal for $1 billion.
True.
How are you what are you gonna tell that kid? That's what I want to see.
Yeah.
Like, I want to see, what are you gonna tell him? It's $1 billion.
That's a fair point, man. Great points by you, man. Salute to everybody in the chat once again. CP the Franchise, Chris, Gotti, Lorenzo in the building. I want to take a quick time out, salute one of our sponsors, man, and that is Manscaped, the #1 men's grooming tool, both above and below the waist. Salute to everybody in the chat. Make sure you guys support our guys at Manscaped, man. Use our code KFTV at checkout for 20% off plus free shipping worldwide. So make sure you guys tap in. That is promo code KFTV for 20% off plus free shipping. All right, Chris. So we got the 20-10 Knicks right now coming off a big Christmas Day win. Mikal Bridges with a 41-point outing. You got Karl Anthony Towns playing at an MVP level. Jalen Brunson, the maestro. What's your thoughts on these present day Knicks, man?
Man, let me tell you, they look really strong, man. They got to just stay together. You know, here's the question. Is Jalen Brunson and Cat going to stay working properly together? Because to me, when you have a guy, Jalen Brunson has to pound that ball. That's his game. And what I mean is, you know, we're on a 24-second clock. He's going to chew up some of that clock. He's going to make his moves. He's got to get into that kind of rhythm to really be the dominant player he is. Do you think about a point guard, or do you leave him as the guard like that? Because to me, that's the question to me to elevate him to the next level. You know, in Tibbs, you know, I know Tibbs. I know Worldwide West, Leon Rose. Those are my guys. Shout them all out, man. Happy holidays. But that's, to me, the question. And Cat, do you have to shoot? How many threes should you be shooting before you go down in that paint?
Get in the box.
Like you can. You know, let's talk about Michael Jordan. He's right there again. One of the most valuable things, in my opinion, Mike did, is so simple. He got a foul. He went and got a foul. It controls the game. We're in a game of runs. That foul stops all runs. You can't stop runs shooting threes and miss. You're not going to get the foul. And if you miss, that keeps them running.
Yeah.
Go in the box and get a bucket or a foul. And that is what Michael Jordan did. And I can't believe that all these superior players today don't think the same. Because he's a midi. Mike was a midi. Mm-hmm. He wasn't a 3-ball. He could shoot it, but he was a midi. But really, he going to get 15, 20 free throws. Yeah. Put that in the books. And that controls game, because you got to get a foul. And today, they give you the fouls easier than back then. So go get that foul. But, and that controls games, and controlled games means you stop their runs. These guys are so talented, they're going to be runs. Even the worst teams go on runs.
Right.
We see it. I tell everyone, if they're in the NBA, they could shoot it. They could play. Don't think they're a bum. No. They could do it. Any given night, they might have one of their best games or whatever, and they could turn up, and you'd be like, what the? But
Yeah.
stopping runs to me is with the value. And I don't see enough star players understanding that part of their game. Go get a bucket. Go get in the paint, higher percentage, get a foul, even better. Free throws, even better.
Yeah.
That stops their run, gets your team settled down, and that's why the Bulls dominated. Michael did that better than anyone. Knicks were going to run, and next he's getting a foul. So, it's manageable. These things are manageable inside of a game when you start really analyzing the games. And I don't see enough of the best players do that. Anthony Edwards disappears in games. I still seen that. As good as he is. Man, I was calling him being the best player when he first came in.
Yeah.
Like, I said, this is the league. The face of the league. He could become that. I don't know if he's taking it as serious as he should.
Yeah, I agree with you, man. I do question whether Ant-Man, is he ready yet to kind of take take the mantle from, like we just mentioned, LeBron, Steph, and KD had that stronghold on the league. Can Ant-Man step up and become the face of the league? It's left to be seen, man. It's
He's getting good commercials.
Yeah.
Remember I told you about the marketing?
That's right.
Yeah, but it kind of, see, the flip side to that coin is when everyone sees you and if you're not doing what you're supposed to do, your value drops.
True.
And it's like, who's in his corner is not telling him that. Like, we're getting all this exposure and all these commercials. No, now kill because you have the ability to do so.
Yeah.
He's got to be double teamed every night if he's going hard. I hate when I watch one-on-ones with him. Like, what? No, send someone. They got to send someone at you, but you take off. You relax.
Bail him out.
Now, you got to kill is kill. That's my expression for basketball players. Kill is kill.
True indeed, man. Who was your Knick when you came up as a kid, man? Who was your guy, man? Classic Knick days.
There's no one other than Bernard King, man. Bernard King was my absolute Knick. You couldn't stop that man. Put 30 in the books. He would drop 50, no pressure. And he did it easy. He was just one of those guys. You couldn't do anything with him. He had a very simplistic game. Wasn't like he was bop, 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 bop. He wasn't bopping, He was midi and dunks and stuff, and that's it. And just so efficient. He knew how to get to his spots, and push you off with his body and get his space and shoot and make the bucket. He was, again, one of my favorite Knicks for sure. You can't speak about the Knicks without Patrick Ewing, my man. Man, Pat, I still feel for you because you know what I feel for him? I go to the Garden, and one day I'm upstairs walking around in the food court area, and I see the man's trophy this big. I would break that if I was Patrick Ewing. I would go in and break it and throw that shit away. Like, don't disrespect me like that. Don't put nothing up if you don't give me something better than that.
Yeah.
That's so disrespectful to that man, in my opinion.
He put in the work, man.
He put in the work, no complaints, bust his ass. He tried his best. All you could ask for anyone is to do that. He just happened to be in an era where the GOAT was there, man. No one else won.
Right. That's it.
Yeah. Ewing did have one chance, and that's when Houston won, and OJ fucked us up.
Yeah. I thought OJ put the bad vibes on us, man. I remember that. They cut the game off. I'm looking for the game. That threw the whole thing off.
OJ fucked us up. The Broncos and all that shit, man.
Yeah.
That shit. That was we had 2 years to get it, and the Dream did it. And look, you're talking about another GOAT.
Yeah. Dream got it.
Dream. Look, Ewing's a GOAT, but he's not the Dream. Dream was different. Dream was a different player, man. But that's it. It's like, timing. Again, let's talk business. Timing is the number one reason for all business success.
Timing is everything. I always say that, man, in life.
Same with music. If you come out, you could be the illest artist. Look, let's use Whitney Houston. Arguably one of the best singers we ever had.
Mm-hmm.
If she came out today, who would fuck with it? Luther Vandross, who was fuck with her? That's the reality of timing. These are great, iconic artists, and I don't see that someone doing it. And believe me, there's incredibly talented artists today. So many, more than ever today. All of that American Idol and all of those shows prove it. Like, they're out here. How come that same talented person is not being manufactured like these
pushed
guys?
Out there.
Agenda. Something's wrong. Something's wrong.
That's well said, man. And on that note, hey, man, I appreciate the time. Once again, shout out to Flash for connecting us.
Definitely.
Hey, we want to support the CPL any way we can, so please keep in touch with us. Let us know. We got to do a CPL, post game, because we do post game after every Knicks game, man. We do post game.
I would love to let you get Twin and Zion or Doug. The MVP of the game was Doug, but let them come up and talk to you.
Bring them through, man. Bring them through, man. We'd be happy to chop it up. Anything else you got in the pipeline you want to let the people know about?
We still have adventure music with all the independent artists. I do all the digital. We're about to start the CYL, which is the Clash Youth League. We're going to do all the young kids, middle schoolers through high school. That's going to start top of the year. I mean, we're just going to keep building and growing. Summer League, we'll be doing all of the parks like we always do with Clash TV. We live stream all the parks so you can watch these games in the park. And then right after that, we're coming right back CPL second season. And I'll be growing it into probably another market.
Dope.
I'm looking to grow it into another market. So we'll have CPL New York. Let's say everything goes good. CPL Baltimore, CPL Chicago. But 1 year at a time. I'm building. I got to raise more money. But this is all growth and expansion ideas.
As you said, in due time, consistency, conviction, building your team.
Yes.
There it is, man. I appreciate the gems, my brother, man. Thank you again for your time. Enjoy the rest of the holiday and enjoy the weekend, man.
Yeah, thank you, CP. Thank you.
Absolutely, man. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was Chris Gotti, man. Salute to everybody in the chat once again. Hit that thumbs up button for you boys, man. Hey, gems. That's why we try to deliver to you guys here on KFTV. Like, we're going to talk Knicks, man. But when we have achievers in their industry, I like to bring them on, share their story so we can kind of extract those gems on our own personal and professional journeys, man. So hopefully you guys got something out of that. And we definitely appreciate Chris for his time. We got Knicks and Magic coming up. CK2K on the play-by-play will be here, so make sure you guys tap into that. We did set up the live stream for you guys there. So shout out to my guy CK2K on the check-in. All right, man. Salute. Who else we got in the chat? Salute to everybody in the chat. Let me tap in, see who else is on the chat there. We got Sheldon Blackman, $5 super chat. Says Brunson is good. His scoring is down and his distribution, his assist is up. He picks his spots. He's good. Let's go, Nick. Shout out to him. Shout out to John Talento. Talento says, great show. JJ says, that was dope. Yeah, man, we switch up the vibes here on KFTV, man. That's what I try to do. That's the goal here. Obviously, yes, we want to talk Knicks, but we like to switch it up, man, when we get good guests. Shout out to my guy Flash for setting this up. And shout out to everybody tapping in on the gram, Facebook, Twitter, wherever you guys at. We definitely appreciate you guys for tapping in. Okay, I was crossed up my screens here. Let me get back to it. Get back to where I was here. All right, before we wrap, I'm going to set up my Underdog picks for tonight. Once again, man, shout out to our sponsors at Underdog Fantasy. Go to UnderdogFantasy.com. Use our code, or you could use the Underdog Fantasy app and use our code KFTV for up to $1,000 in bonus cash plus a free pick. So it's a good deal, man. Can't lose on that one. And it's a good way to get your feet wet. Don't got to put the mortgage up. Don't got to lose your shirt. Just play to have fun, but play to win and play responsibly. Okay, so as usual on Underdog, I gotta go with the Knicks game. All right, so let me load up the Knicks versus Magic game. Let me load that up and see what we're dealing with for tonight here as the Knicks take on the Magic. And it's earlier game time. So remember that. Early game time on this Knicks versus Magic game. It's a 7 o'clock start. I'm going to go with, in this game, I got to go with the hot hand. The Mikal Bridges miracle, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, man, where's the points? Damn, I wanted the points, man. I really did want the points in this one, man. But, you know what? The Underdog took off the points, man. They think, hey, listen, this guy's a little too hot right now. So right now they have points, rebounds, and assist stat. And on Underdog, what you're going to do is you're going to choose between 2 to 8 players. And you're just going to predict whether or not they're going to go higher or lower on a given stat projection that Underdog has on the given night. And you can play anything. You can play NBA, you can play NFL. They have NHL, tennis. They have all sports that you can choose from. So on tonight, I like this number here. I'm gonna go 23.5 points, rebounds, and assists here for Mikal Bridges. I like this number here. You have the Orlando Magic. Right now, Mikal Bridges is averaging 19.8 points per game. And the Orlando Magic have been giving up the 4th most points to opposing shooting guards. So I think they are ripe here for Mikal Bridges on a favorable matchup. And I think he can get there. I think he can get there on 23.5. So I'm going to go higher on points, rebounds, and assists. Also in this game, did they take off the Jalen Suggs number? Hang on. Where's Jalen Suggs? Okay. Also in this game, I'm going to go lower for Jalen Suggs on 30 points, rebounds, and assists. He's only hit that number once in his last 5 games, and that was in their last matchup against the Miami Heat last night. They're on the second night of a back-to-back, and against the Knicks, he only mustered up about 20. He had like 9 points, 8 assists, and a couple of rebounds. I'm going lower than 30.5 points, rebounds, and assists for one Jalen Suggs. And then another one that I had liked here was Donovan Mitchell. Donovan Mitchell going up against Nikola Jokic and the Nuggets in Denver. Mitchell right now is averaging over 23 points a game, 5 boards, and 5 assists. You got the Nuggets allowing the 3rd most points a game to opposing shooting guards and the 5th fastest pace. So you're going to have a lot of opportunities to get buckets. I think this is prime time, Spider Mitchell time. I'm going higher than 33.5 points, rebounds, and assists for Donovan Mitchell. So my picks are Mikal Bridges higher than 23.5 points, rebounds, and assists. I got Jalen Suggs lower than 30.5 points, rebounds, and assists. And I got Donovan Mitchell against the Denver Nuggets higher than 33.5 points, rebounds, and assists. And then on this one, I'm going to put up $20 here. And I'm going to go on the standard play. So $20 on the standard play nets you 6 times your money. So $20, if I hit all 3 picks correct, I'll win $120. And then if I don't, then you're not going to win. You can go with the flex where you can get 3 correct and get $60, or you get 2 correct and you get $20. So that's how it works on the flex play. But I'm going to go with the standard play. And keep it pushing that way. All right. So there it is. $20 to win $120 on Underdog. So there are my picks once again. And you could go to UnderdogFantasy.com, use the Underdog app, use our code KFTV for up to $1,000 in bonus cash plus a free pick. All right. So there that is, man. We are going to wrap. So to everybody for tapping in with us once again. Once you leave here, head over to the play-by-play show hosted by CK2K, Knicks versus Magic. Early tip-off, 7 o'clock tip-off. So make sure you guys tap in, man. Number 1 show for the fans, by the fans, man. Salute. Hope you guys enjoyed today's show. Shout out to Chris Gotti once again for the time. And we appreciate it, man. TP the franchise. I'm out of here. Peace.